Robert Kiyosaki is a scam. Let me tell you how. Even if you've never read a personal finance book in your life, you've probably heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad and its author, Robert Kiyosaki. He was one of the first financial influencers, building a huge following long before the internet made it easy for anyone with a webcam and a trading app to become a guru. But there are two big problems. Number one, his advice wasn't that great to begin with. And number two, it's only gotten worse over time. He's even admitted to being hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And while his seminars may be advertised as free, most of the time is spent upselling more expensive seminars, some of which can cost thousands of dollars. If you're watching content like this, you probably understand more about money than the average person, but even then, it can be tough to get straight answers. Financial education is lacking, and most personal finance content is either boring or full of confusing jargon. That's where people like Kiyosaki come in, selling easy-sounding solutions to complicated problems. The issue is, no book, video, or seminar can actually solve your personal money problems. Everyone's situation is different. Plus, good financial advice is often boring, it doesn't sell well, so people like Kiyosaki face a choice. Either give boring, helpful advice to a specific audience, or promise exciting results that sound amazing to everyone but don't work for anyone. Kiyosaki chose the second path. He's a master at turning basic and often questionable advice into something that sounds deep, especially to people who are struggling and desperate for a way out. He's made millions telling people to reject formal education and safe careers in favor of debt, risky investments, and entrepreneurship. That was the core message in his first book, If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to School. It targeted people who either never went to college, regret it, or are unsure about going, basically anyone feeling stuck. His breakout success came with Rich Dad Poor Dad, where he compares his poor dad, his real father who followed the traditional path, to his rich dad, a supposedly wealthy mentor. The twist, most investigations suggest this rich dad never existed. But honestly, that doesn't even matter. If the advice was good, nobody would care whether the story was real or not. And some of the advice is fine, like don't spend money you don't have, invest in assets, and avoid dumb purchases. But that's super generic. It's like reading a fitness book from an Olympian that tells you to drink water. True, but not exactly groundbreaking. The real danger comes from his obsession with using debt to get rich. He pushes the idea that if you don't use other people's money, you'll never be wealthy. Yes, using debt can boost returns, but it also multiplies your risk. And if you take on too much debt at the wrong time, it can ruin you. Just ask the folks who followed his real estate advice right before the 2008 crash. He also promotes something called the cash flow quadrant, which divides people into four groups: employees and self-employed people, the losers, and business owners and investors, the winners. He says business owners use other people's time to make money, turning their income into something passive. But building a business that runs without you is incredibly difficult, and Kiyosaki himself didn't do it. He got rich selling books about how to get rich. Today, he's still wealthy, but mainly because of his book sales. Once you're already rich, it's a lot easier to take risky investments and come out okay even if you take on tons of debt, but most people don't have that safety net. And here's the thing, the people who win using his methods are loud about their success. But those who lose, like people who went broke trying to flip houses, stay quiet out of embarrassment. So the full picture is hidden. Still, that's not the worst part. His book, The Business of the 21st Century, might be the most harmful. It encourages people to avoid traditional businesses and instead join network marketing companies, aka MLMs. Think Herbalife, Amway, Avon. These are basically pyramid schemes with just enough legality to stay in business. Kiyosaki claims he isn't directly involved with any specific MLMs, which is smart because it lets him sell his book to all of them. And they do. New recruits in these companies often get his book as required reading. His brand makes shady businesses feel more legitimate. But here's the catch. The real money in MLMs isn't in selling products. It's in selling the dream and things like books, seminars, and motivational CDs. It's a scam built on top of a scam, and Kiyosaki is right in the middle of it. He also makes huge, unverifiable claims to stay relevant in new markets. In crypto, he predicted Bitcoin would hit $10 million. In gold, he claimed to own the largest gold mine in America, only for it to turn out he actually owns a small, old copper mine in Utah. Big difference. Why does he do this? Because building authority sells. He rants about not trusting the academic elites at the Federal Reserve, but ironically, the only way to buy his courses is with the same paper money he says is worthless. So yeah, Robert Kiyosaki is a scam, but a clever one. He sells simple dreams to desperate people and makes millions while they gamble with their financial futures.